Jenny has asked, I'd love some tips on how to prioritize mindfulness. I have a non-writing related full-time job, a very busy family, and write almost every day. Wow, that's impressive. I literally have every moment scheduled. In fact, I have to schedule an hour on Sundays just to plan the next week. I know this is so important. I'm very depleted, but it feels hopeless to think about finding time for yoga or forest bathing, etc.
Right. I would recommend, if possible, to take 5 minutes for meditation before your writing practice. So if you're writing every day, maybe take 5 minutes of that time and just sit quietly and either dwell upon your breath, following your breath, just becoming quiet and landing here and now in that moment. It really, for the first few days or even the first few weeks, sometimes it feels like nothing's happening. I'm just sitting here trying not to think. But if you stay with the continual practice, it actually begins to manifest in so many different ways that are unique to the individual. And as I began my meditation practice, I know there were so many weeks that I'm like, I feel like this did nothing. I'm just sitting here fighting with my thoughts. But if you stay with just 5 minutes of time before you're writing, that really changed the game for me. And you really don't need 45 minutes of stillness and candles burning and the right music going. If you just take 5 minutes for yourself, it can really shift the energy around your writing practice itself, especially if you're busy, like you described. It can really help you to approach your upcoming week and that really full schedule with a better sense of groundedness, of centeredness, and grace.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I have to say, something that really resonated with me is I struggle with the sitting still and calming my thoughts. I mean, they're constantly dinging and I'm constantly, pulling them back in. And one thing that really stuck with me from the course I took was to remember that every time you pull your thoughts back, you are essentially becoming aware of those thoughts. So that is a kind of check of the box of mindfulness, right? That you have become aware of what you're doing. But every time you kind of bring your thoughts back, picture it as a drop in a giant bucket, a drop of water. And slowly over time, the bucket fills. So you are doing the work and you are doing the practice. It might not feel like it because it's a tiny drop, but it accumulates. And that exactly what you just said, it just starts to manifest in ways that you might not even expect or anything like that. And then the other thing I wanted to say to Jenny also is just what I mentioned before is finding ways to use whatever you are doing to practice the mindfulness, because it doesn't have to be, it's great to sit down, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be whatever you're participating in. How can I be more mindful and present in that thing? Like, how can I anchor myself in that activity? And that is practice. So it's just like, that was the shift for me. It's like, I can practice wherever I am. That's the fun part. It's like, how can I make this into a practice? So that would be my 2 cents there.
I love that. That's so true, because you can do it anywhere at any time. And you can do it while you're writing, even becoming aware of okay, just this sentence, I'm going to fully immerse in writing this sentence and just be fully present. Mm-hmm. There it is. That is mindfulness. It's like you said, it's totally not complicated. You can do it anywhere.
Anywhere, anytime. Yeah. Awesome. If you enjoyed this video, we've got a lot more on writingmastery.com. Check the description for links to our blog, free writing tools, and more. Happy writing.